Hello, hello, hello. Voice and Hmm. So this support was wanted. So this is the ultimate resistance right now. But सवाल ये कि कहाँ पे हम देख. So this was the breakdown. Right? The supply area बनेगा कहाँ पे? इस part पे. तो पूरा एरिया हम सप्लाई मार्क कर सकते हैं. And this whole thing can be treated as a supply. So first thing is this is very interesting. So this is a higher time frame chalk. Okay, so this was a chalk, this was a break of structure, this was a break of structure, and this is our outer block. Okay, because the sweep is also occurred in it. Then it started to consolidate again, a fall. Interesting thing was it broke this swing low. Okay, it was a liquidity grab and then the filter bit of structure, every single shit. Okay. So one thing we need to know, one thing we need to understand is the market is bearish right now. Euro dollar, it is bearish. Okay. So if it is bearish, then what are the pullback zones? So these are some of the stopping areas. Okay. We have no supplies on whenever. It also respected this zone. Somewhat, but I'm not around this. Okay. So we can expect a pullback up to here. Since यहाँ पे ऐसे conditions हो सकते, maybe you cannot say. So this was a change of character, but it did broke this line. Suppose let's say we have not covered this part of the market yet. Okay, so हमने हमें इतना सब कुछ देखा ही नहीं है. What we are just seeing is let us assume that we are here right now. Okay, so this was a chalk. Okay, so this was a chalk, and then it started to pull back. But what was our swing low? This was our swing low, right? So we do not expect this to break. So this is a higher time frame support zone, as it is a swing low. Okay, we want a swing reversal above this zone or by mitigating this zone. Okay, so what happened? It failed to break the high, making it as a resistance, as a supply zone, and it changed the character over here. Okay, so actually this isn't a change of character. This is a change of character. Okay, so that's a chalk. Let's forget this thing. Okay, let us consider this as a chalk. Okay, so it pulled back, and this was the liquid area because it was equal lows. So it pulled back, it went again to the supply zone, and then it started to shift the character, and it again showed some inducement, and then all the liquidity grab, again a break of structure, again a break of structure, then the market started to shift. Okay, so this was the change of character. Okay, so now we are here. So when we get a change of character in the main time frame, we're gonna shift to a lower time frame. Okay, 4th September 10:30 p.m. 4th September 10:30 p.m. Okay, here you can see market started to shift. Okay, this is a lower time frame change of character. Cannot consider this. You can consider this as a lower time frame change of character. When we consider the change of character, we do not expect the extreme demand to break. Okay, so this was the extreme demand. If we consider this whole demand, as you can see, we have mitigated the area. Right. So we have mitigated the area. When price went all the way to upside. Remember, this is just a pullback. Okay, this is a pullback because eventually we haven't. Okay, so this when this thing occurs, we have an indication to know that okay, the swing pullback is over. Okay, from this to this was just a swing pullback. Now the swing pullback is over. So this is, here we have an internal change of character, and now this break of structure indicates a fractal change of character. Okay, what is a fractal change of character? A trend inside a trend. Okay, so this indicates a change of this indicates a fractal change of character. What I'm trying to say is when the price is bullish, okay, so when we have this thing and when we start to see the shift in the price towards the zone, okay, towards the trend. Okay, so what was the overall trend? Overall trend, higher time frame trend was bullish. Now the internal trend, what is an internal trend? Internal trend is also bullish. So this is a fractal thing. Fractal means a trend that exists inside a trend. Okay, so this was the, so hope all of this thing was a fractal change of character. Okay, so now we expect price to move much higher. Okay, aiming to break this high. Okay, so we're gonna step for stop losses when the price starts to mitigate this area. Okay, the price broke this area, and when the price starts to mitigate this extreme demand zone. Okay, so our extreme demand zone is, but this is the fractal demand zone. Okay, so we expect the price to move here, and we are going to get long in this thing, setting the stop loss below this level and aiming much higher. Okay, like this. But what did it do? Now we are here. Okay, now we are here. When the price started to approach this level, eventually it showed some bullish characters, but it failed to take this high. And eventually the market broke the structure, consuming all the liquidity. Okay. So here it was liquidity grab. So we call this thing as liquidity grab, and then the market started to make this thing as a whole supply zone. Okay, it came it reacted to this level. Okay, if we consider whole of this as a resistance, it mitigated the area and it broke the structure again. Okay, here market tried to push the price up, but again it was bearish. This thing right here, this thing right here is called as inducement. So what does the price do? It tried to create a long, it tried to invite all the buyers. Eventually it did. Okay, so all the buyers got trapped and their money got stuck, and eventually everyone started to sell this thing, and the price didn't go higher. Okay, so this was, I guess, CPI. No, it is. I don't know what this was. Where did it? Okay, so now what is our supply zone? This whole thing becomes a supply zone. Okay, so whenever the price reacts to this level, okay, as it did here, we had a very strong pull to the downside. Okay, now we are here. Okay, so this acted as a very good resistance, and now again we are going to look for the bullish change of characters. Okay, so here we sweeped out some liquidities. Okay, it's a liquidity sweep, and then market started to range. Okay, so market was in this range. In the euro dollar, the trending markets are usually 35% as far as I have observed, and the ranged markets are remaining 65%. Okay, so this is how the euro dollar pair moves. So okay, so we have to trade this thing, not this thing. Okay, and when the market is ranged, okay, so when the market is ranged, we need to wait for this to happen. We need to wait for a breakout. Then we are going to analyze the trend or the which direction it should go. Okay, so as you can see, there was a break of structure over here. Okay, this was the breakout of the range. So when the candle formed, it eventually started to take some resistance. Okay, and then the candle started to move like this and this and this and this, and it eventually broke the structure, sweeping all the liquidity to the downside. Okay, and it closed right here. But what happened after? Price went up. Why? Because whole of this thing was just a swing pullback. Okay, the price has already moved way too low, and it has completed all the pullbacks. So now we expect the market to react to our zone. So when the market broke this range, we are going to wait for this mitigation. Okay, because since we have a supply zone right here, you cannot just take longs over here expecting the price to go this and this and this. Okay, so the price could move in any direction. We just need to make sure that we are trading the direction. Okay, so now that we have a change of character over here. Okay, so okay, let us consider this range breakout is a change of character. The market started to take support in this range. and we are going to wait for the market to react to this level. As a result, market broke the structure. This was a swing change of character. Okay, this was a higher time frame chalk. So price is now super bullish, and now we are going to treat this area as our extreme support zone. Okay, so as a result, what happened? Price came down to this area, reacted to this, and then eventually it reached this supply zone. Then price eventually broke this structure. Okay, so this was an ultimate demand zone. Why? Because it started to take support in the higher time frame change of character. Okay, leave this area. We are not going to trade all of this thing, because with this was an extreme demand, right? So we are not going to take trades over here. We are going to completely avoid this thing. Where we are interested, when the price moved way too up and it took some supply over there, it started to face some selling, and then the price came down to this level. Now we are interested in this zone. Okay, because the market was in a trending phase, not a range phase. Okay, so all the profit booking happened here. I guess this was, yeah, this was the NFP, and then the markets, and then the euro dollar started to take some shift in the character. Then the market started to range. Let us switch back to 4-hour time frame. This is how we analyze this trend. Okay, so market went all the way to the upside, and then it swept the liquidity. It failed to close. So what we are going to call this is an FTC, which is failed to close. So this was an FTC. FTC usually occurs when the market is in a trending phase, and as soon as it is about to break the swing structure, it fails to close above this level, indicating that the price could move and the price could break this swing low eventually, which is being formed, which is an internal change of character, the IBOS, the I chalk, and the fractal change of character, and all those fractal changes or swing trends and fractal trends. Okay, so when this was way too much expected. Okay, so we actually expected this to break, and we took a trade, I guess. Oh yeah. So the most important thing was FTC, which is failed to close. And another thing, so what happened here? It then again started to take some range, and this was an internal support. I guess this was the support it was trying to make. Yes, this was the support it was trying to make. And what happened here? It is FTB, that is failed to break. So usually when it is facing a resistance level, the price usually approaches this thing. Okay, eventually it doesn't even reach that level, which indicating that it has a higher probability that the market will eventually shift bullish, because you can see this was a swing high. Okay, and it took some pullback. So I'm going to draw the higher time frame swings in the yellow color. Okay, so this thing was a swing pullback. As you can see, we didn't break the swing low. Okay, this was a swing low, this was a strong low, and we didn't break this thing. Again, the market started to move in the direction of this internal break of structure, internal change of character, internal break of structure, fractal change in the trend, aligning with the overall trend. And then now we have faced a point where we are taking this weak high. Remember this thing, we are trading this weak high. We are expecting this weak high to break, but what happens? The weak high doesn't get break, and then an FTC forms, FTB forms, which is failed to break. indicating another sign of bearishness. And when the market started to shift bearish, how can we know that? By sweeping this liquidity, and this was an internal change of character. So this was a higher time frame change of character, but you can spot this thing right here. This was a chop, and then market broke the structure, and then this was the higher time frame. So all the longs were executed right here. Okay, aiming for the next high, and all the stop losses were set below this thing. Okay, but what did we have here? We had a higher time frame demand zone. Okay, so since we have shifted bearish over here and we broke the structure, okay, you can mark this thing also. So you can consider this thing as a break of structure too. Okay, so now we are here. Okay, now we are here at this part of the market. Okay, so now we are here. We changed the character, we broke the structure, we had an initial pullback, and we faced this resistance. Okay, this is a resistance zone. Okay, let us forget that for now. Okay, so when the price reacted to this level in a higher time frame, making a doji candle. Okay, so this thing is called as a doji. Okay, so when a doji occurs, first we have to know what is the function of a doji. The price started in a bullish. So the candle started in a bullish candle for a 4-hour time frame. So the price went all the way up towards the upside, forming a Morabeza candle. This was a strong strength and healthy candle. But eventually what happened? The market started to go in an opposite direction. Okay. Now the candle is red because all the sellers who sold at this level, making this thing as a supply area for XYZ reasons. So making this as a supply area, the sellers were able to push the price all the way to the opposite direction. Okay, so now the price is way too low from the high, okay, indicating that bearishness. But what happens here? The market eventually shifts bullish. Okay, so the buyers tried all the way. So the buyers push all the way, price all the way towards where it started. So this is how a doji is formed. What it indicates that is the market is now range. Okay, so there are equal number of participants. So there is buyers and sellers. Okay, so there are equal number of buyers or sellers. We need an imbalance. Okay, we need an imbalance. What is an imbalance? Let's say at some point the price was moving up down, taking this liquidity, that liquidity, up down, and this point occurs. Okay, so we have a range breakout. So here all of the sell stops and the sell stop losses, all the available liquidity is absorbed. Okay, so now what do we have? We have more number of buyers and less number of sellers. So what does this indicate? The market is shifting the character. Okay, so now we expect the price to move way up. So this is how this is the working model of a doji candle. Okay, so we need to understand that when a doji occurs, so what do we first aim? We wait for a breakout to happen. Okay, so when this thing happened, we knew that the market is now range. We either need a single side breakdown. As a result, we had this swing break of structure. So this was a strong low which was not supposed to break, but ultimately it grabbed all the liquidity and then price switched to bearish, indicating that there are more sellers in the market, right? So now what do? We wait for a swing pullback. Now this becomes our ultimate strong high. Why strong high? Because the rise is now bearish. So what do we learn from this is, so we are not going to plan a trade in the opposite direction. If we get some valid zones, such as an internal break of structure or an internal demand zone, so we are going to plan some things. Okay, now we had this trend and liquidity. We observe all those things, and so this as resistance. Now we are ranging. Now we are ranging here. So what does? What becomes a swing high? So eventually, you can consider this as a swing high, not this. Why? Because this was just an accumulation phase. This was a distribution, and now we are again in an accumulation phase. So when the price moves in a certain range, the liquidity will be available in both the directions. Okay. The liquidity is available here, and the liquidity is available here as well. So we need to wait for the price to take one of the directions, so that we can so that we can play longs and shorts with more confirmations. So the plan for this is, so let's get rid of all these things. Okay. So we are going to trade. So when the prices moves all the way down, breaking this low and breaking this swing low and breaking this swing low. Now we expect the price to pull back a little bit. Okay. So the pullback reasons. If the market is pulling back, then the market is internally bullish, right? It should form a higher low and higher high. Okay. But remember, this thing should occur in IBOS and iChalk. What is an IBOS and iChalk? It is an internal break of structure and an internal change of character. So we expect the price to make higher highs and higher lows, but we don't expect the market to break this level, which is this supply zone. So this is a good supply area. Okay, so this is a good supply area. What we need to remember in the lower time frame is all the supply that is going to come between this thing and this thing. Okay, between these two things are just reaction points. Okay. So what was the eventual resistance? Okay. So here we have an equal high, I guess. So here we have. So now the question comes: what is the point of all of the above analysis, right? So yeah, we did actually broke the structure. Now what do we expect? We expect the price not to break this time, right? So what the market eventually did, it showed an internal change of character, an internal FTC failed to close, and then price eventually broke the structure. There's an internal change of internal break of structure. Then the price again created high, and the price created another high. So what is the internal trend? I'm asking. what is the internal trend? Obviously, the internal trend is bullish. Okay, why it is bullish? Because it is in a pullback phase towards this supply zone. Okay. So what are we aiming for? We expect the price to move much higher. So all the trades that are going to be valid in this particular scenario will be longs, not the shorts. All the short sweeps we are going to, all the shorts will be absorbed as a liquidity, like a buy side liquidity, sorry, sell side liquidity. So we are going to trade this pullback, validating all the zones. And when we are trading pullback, we should make sure that we trade with a low lot size, because we are trading in the counter trend, right? The price is uh, moving in a swing, uh, in the bearish swing, but we are trading in the counter trend. We are against all of these sellers. Okay. So we need to make sure that we use as minimum lot size as possible. Okay. So now so now the internal trend is bullish. So does all of what do all of these supply areas become? These becomes reaction points. So what is the uh, first and most basic liquidity we can find over here? As you can see, market. Yeah. So this right here was all the shorts were entered right here, and this was and here the price started to range a bit. Why? Because when the price starts to range, all of these sellers, all of the people who have sold over here will get panicked. Okay, and their stop losses lie here, and all the people start to exit this thing, and some people enter long, some people enter short, some people exit their trades, some people put more quantity, and all of these things happen. Okay, so when these things happen, there is a generation of more liquidity towards both the directions. Okay, I'll tell you why you should remember that in the tomorrow. Okay, so there are liquidity available here and here as well. But what was the liquidity that absorbed? Nil. Why? Because take a look at, there was no market participation, there was no operator participation, there was no big money involved here. So what does this indicate? This indicates that the liquidity is available towards both the sides. Okay. So uh, but what is the internal trend right now? It is bullish. So we expect the price to create a fake out. Okay, we expect the price to break this level, but we need an FTC, which is fail to close. So what we need is an FTC over here. So the price should eventually drop down to this level, and immediately, if a sweep occurs, if a liquidity sweep occurs, okay, if a liquidity sweep occurs right here, then for sure this area will be the point of interest for us. This will be the ultimate demand zone, and this becomes all the available liquidity that can be absorbed very drastically, very quickly. Okay, so we are going to look for this in this particular pair, which is euro-dollar, on a Monday. So what is happening in USD/JPY? Okay, USD/JPY as usual, it is at a swing range. So this is the swing range for this. Okay. Market has reacted to my demand zone. This was a higher time frame demand zone. Market usually it broke the structure, and it made a low, and then it broke the structure again. it ranged a bit, and then it broke the structure again. It ranged a bit, and then it again broke the structure. But here, the price was the price was shrink. Okay. There were no impulsive moves or an aggressive moves. There were no active traders right here. So the market was in both directions, and now the market is forming a liquidity pool. Same concept, because usually on Fridays market usually closes no matter whatever the pair it is. For exception, if some fundamental things are occurring in the particular pair or some geopolitical tensions, then the market may may close in a trending position. Okay, but usually on the Friday, market faces lack of liquidity, lack of volume, eventually forming these liquidity pools, which is trading in both the directions. That is why we usually avoid Fridays. If there is any news or some big event going on, then only I am trading. Okay. Okay, so let me show why what was my trade on the Friday. Okay, so on Friday we traded this. Hmm. So USD JPY, right? Okay, so if this is a strong low, then we expect the price to break this level. But since it is in liquidity pool, I have marked this as a swing range. Because this was the point of interest where all the short positions have been executed, because it showed again an FTC failed to close. Okay, so as you can see, the market failed to close above this thing, but it had broken this thing, and this was a liquidity sweep, and now all the short positions are active right here. Okay, because this was a pullback and more number of quantities are added here. So if the market, okay, so this is my way for JPY. If the price, if the price broke this thing and again it formed an FTC, then I'm going to enter some shorts right here. Okay, because that would be an eventual, so that would eventually be just a bearish sign. So the market is trying to shift bearish because uh, so this is a strong low and this is the swing range. This is a very strong low. I cannot consider this as a strong low, so I'm marking it yellow. So when a swing structures occurs and with a double break of structure, we usually expect the price to pull back a little bit, but it shouldn't break this demand zone. So I am expecting liquidity sweep right here. Okay, let's wait. Let's wait how the market reacts to that zone. So there are sellers active right here. So next is pound. Nice pullback and then ranged market as usual. It swept the liquidity. It didn't steal the liquidity. All the buy positions are executed here. Oh, low time frame analysis. Shit. Hmm. ये बहुत मसला है यार। इसको कैसे ट्रेड करेंगे? यहाँ तो ट्रेड ही नहीं बनेगा भाई। Okay, I would not be trading. I'm not interested in this because बहुत ही रेंज है, बहुत ही चौपी चौपी है। देखना पड़ेगा बस, ये एक डेटा है ना। ऐसा नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं कर सकता मैं, इतना तो नहीं समझ। See, one thing I can say, the price was super bearish. It reacted to the zone, it broke the structure, and again it formed all of the liquidity over here. Means all the long positions were forced. Okay, all the long positions were forced. भाई क्या है? What the fuck, man? Okay. So all the long positions were forced to be executed right here, and then this was an okay, FTB and an FTC both, and then this candle. This is an interesting candle. Okay, the price eventually. Okay, so what is this? 2:30 p.m. right? 2:30 p.m. 10:30 a.m. What is 2:30? 10:30 a.m. Okay. Anyway. 10:30 a.m. Right. Yeah, look at 10th October 10:30 a.m. 10th October 10:30 a.m. Right. Okay, so the price dropped 10:30 2:30 अरे भाई क्या हो रहा है ओके दिस हाँ 10:30 2:30 what the fuck भाई ये 4 आवर कैंडल मार्क कर लेता हूँ अरे बाबा इतना प्यार भाई ओके अबे क्या हो रहा है ये 2:30 3:30 4:30 5:30 6:30 ओके 6:30 right अरे यार so you can use the news ignore this oh my god if you I chalk I break off structure oh you know what listen not right GBP JPY okay strong flip demand react strong low blue strong low change of character okay break of fracture strong low this was a strong low break of fracture valid demand zone reaction change of character respect of the zone break of fracture okay क्या था भाई अगर ये FTV ओके यहाँ पे इक्वल हाई स्पॉन होगा this whole thing is treated as supply area for right now so this was an internal trend reaction pull back equal lows equal low equal low or this was a sweep oh sweep range breakout again inverted hammer respecting this internal supply and to switch to a lower time frame there was a supply so this was a supply mitigation drawdown again the same shit okay so this is an internal okay market range again panicking this is the first sign of panicking okay ऐसा अगर एक range बनने लगे after these healthy candles then there is a panic it means there are some okay let me mark out this two. So there are some active what do you call it there are some active sell positions right now so if the market is supposed to go down then it will surely so yahi pe bhi same we are expecting so expectation is an FTC I would say FTB also but for more confirmations FTC okay, so यहाँ पे एक sweep बन सकता है so this is a very interesting area okay so ये अपने एक interesting area बन सकता है एंड यहाँ पे इक्वल, इसको भी इक्वल लॉस कंसिडर किया जा सकता है, बट देखना पड़ेगा भाई. Okay. Okay, so there are the number of more number of volumes. So there is a higher probability that this will be sweep like this. But Friday में भी इतना वॉल्यूम है मैच, मोमेंटम है. So usually, okay, so मैं मार्क कर लेता हूँ. Lot size low. Since there are more number of volumes involved and there is a more number of momentum, तो यहाँ पे lot size you should keep very low, because पता नहीं कब ऐसे ऐसे कैंडल बन जाएंगे, तुम्हें पता भी नहीं चलेगा. यहाँ पे क्या होता है ना, यहाँ पे मेन योर साइकोलॉजी विल बी फन राइट. ओके, so if you took a shot right here after this liquidity sweep, so the market can show immediate impulse. So when it shows an immediate impulse, you may look for this target right here. Okay, you may seek this target, but what eventually happens, an immediate reaction candle will appear. It will go down, but when you see this when you see this thing ना, you'll be ऐसे टाइम पे गांड फटेगी ना. Okay, so यहाँ पे lot size very low, expectation is an FTC. Okay, so Euro JPY, but it is an FTC, but this was a reaction zone, right? This whole thing was a supply area. Okay, I guess this will be absorbed. If all of this will be absorbed, I guess. So we had a trending market. What? Okay, so we had a trending market, we had a breakdown, we had a reaction to this zone, again a break of structure, and then the price was very aggressive, paused over here. I don't know why, but anyways we are going to mark out this as a demand zone. The price reacted to this zone by seeking the liquidity. Okay, so this was a change of character, this was a sweep indicating that this is a very strong support area. So we are not going to take any positions other than this demand area. And now the price is currently testing this area for the 5th time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th time. Okay, so I guess यहाँ पे एक long position बनेगा. यहाँ पे एक so I guess the price is supposed to move very aggressively. Okay, we can wait. Okay, so let me mark out this breakout. situation is the breakout. So if the market has to move up, then it has to take some liquidity, right? So I've already bought in शायद ट्रेड नहीं बनेगा बिकॉज या तो ब्रेकआउट पे ट्रेड लिया जा सकता है या फिर कंफर्मेशन के लिए वेट करा जा सकता है. देख अगर ब्रेकआउट हुआ एंड देन व्हाट इफ दिस बिकेम द अल्टीमेट सप्लाई जोन since it has already created a major supply. इसमें I guess you can avoid this thing. But there's surely liquidity available right here. Okay, so this will be easily absorbed. Only we can take an advantage of this thing, I guess. Okay, so when the price breaks this level, okay, so it is here. Okay, when the price breaks this level, we are going to enter a long position followed by the following candle stop loss, and we are going to target this area. We are going to target some 10 pips, right? Only 10 pips. Yes. Okay. So यहाँ पे scalp, only scalp. This is the execution and this is the expectation. Okay. Other than that, if a liquidity sweep happens and the market started to respect this zone and this zone, and it eventually and if okay, so let me clear this up. If this is a reaction point, okay, let me call this an X. Okay. So if this is a reaction point, then the price has to show some internal change of character, right? So the price has to show some internal change of character, and if the price started to respect this supply zone, then I am going to enter some shots, aiming for some maximum of this thing. Okay. And if the price, I am going to hold this trade and trail my stop losses. If the price started to take resistance over here, and then if the price started to show some shift in the character and respecting this supply zone, then I'm going to enter this trade, making stop loss above this level, about 13 pips. I'm going to target the whole thing. Okay, 1 to 3. And if the price breaks this level, okay, if the price breaks this level, I'm going to bring my stop loss over here, just below some break even. Okay. Okay, so these are the reaction points. So here we have to trade carefully because this should be a scalp. This trade shouldn't last more than 2 minutes. Or depends upon the situation. So AUD CAD. This seems a lot of bullish. So currently we are trading in this swing area. So this was okay, CAD, right? Okay, so the price is bearish actually. Nice sweeps, downside, again a sweep, upside. So this we can consider as a pullback. Mitigation. Price mitigation versus the internal supply zone in daily time frame. Okay, so this is a supply zone. We expect a pullback, right? So this was pullback. But to confirm that, I'm going to show you something. So this. So the price was dropping, had a pullback, dropped, had a pullback, dropped. It took this high, but it failed to close. Again, price broke this low, and then this was a pullback. Right. So we are currently, you can go up and you can go down, but फिलहाल range candle. Okay, this is a nice sweep actually, and if we treated this as a daily time frame resistance level, we are super bullish with an increasing volume in a lower time frame, right? Okay, so for our मैंने ये ट्रैक ये न्यूज़ वाला कैप्चर किया था, बट वी हैड एन इंस्टेंट रिएक्शन. मतलब यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा खासा डिमांड चल रहा है. This was a sweep in the daily time frame. Okay, so let this thing have a pullback, and then we are going to wait for some time. Taking this as a resistance, let us wait for this mitigation. Okay, so this is a pullback. So what do you expect here? Expectation is mitigation of higher time frame supply, and another thing, IBOS. So you need an iChalk. An iChalk. This is our expectation, and when we are going to enter the trade after the IBOS. So this is the expectation for this, and this is our execution. So we are currently in this thing, but we need to make sure that when this thing appears, when this thing actually mitigates our zone, mitigates this it's called a swing range. Okay, when it mitigates this thing, we need an internal change of character in the 15-minute time frame, at least 15-minute time frame, because this thing will be easily absorbed. I know this thing will be easily absorbed. Okay, so this thing will be easily absorbed. Okay, so we have to wait for more confirmations for the price to move in our direction. So this, I need a 15-minute breakdown of the 15 minutes in the flight of this thing. So then what do we have? Gold. Very interesting topic. What do we have? Okay, so fundamentally the gold is bullish. There is no doubt in that. But in order for the gold to be bearish, we need some good fundamental news, I think so. Or we need some big event for it to turn bearish. Otherwise, it is bullish. But for now, the trend was Okay, so this is an internal change of character. This is a pullback, and this was a change of character. Let me mark this. So if this was the change of character, what was a strong high? So first of all, this is a very strong high, and what led to this break of structure is okay. In gold, we cannot consider any single thing. We just have to trade in the direction. So only lower time frame analysis can be applied here. So we are in a pullback phase. Aiming for this resistance, this can be easily taken out. So we do not expect the price to break this level. So this is the swing range. Okay, so that's it for now. We'll meet Monday.